Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Before I get into this Campione, which was a very, very good episode. This was a really good one. One of my subs did something for me. This other guy made me a background. The Shift Gear. Made me a background for my channel. But someone else who's a sub, who subscribed to me, made something else. He made me an icon. I just want to briefly state this. An icon for YouTube. You know, I'm all customized. Drew a picture of me as a Soul Reaper, as like a captain. In fact, when I first saw it, I thought, oh my god, I look like Isaac. And I told him what to do. I told him I wanted him to add like a hollow mask. Surprisingly enough, he did. So from now on, when you guys see my customized thumbnails, you're gonna see that pic. It's gonna be me with a hollow mask that's like green and shit. Before 10. Okay. Campione. God Killer. God Slayer. This one was called The Sword of Ama no Murakumo, which happens to be, and hopefully I'm saying her name right, Ina. This is Ina's sword. More or less. And then basically we just start off. This really was a pretty long episode, so I'm just going to go and just tell you guys what happened for each party. Because really, this episode was slithered into a few parts. So basically you have the situation going on in the intermediate world with Kusanagi, Ina, and Erika. And you have Athena at Kusanagi's house with his younger sister. And we have Yuri, Maria, and Liliana. Their situation. So let's start with Kusanagi. So Kusanagi, he's in the intermediate world, and he is walking around, and it's very, it's very, bland. It's black and white and shit and all this other stuff. And he's walking down this road. It's very, desolate, because this is the realm between life and death, or life and immortality. That's at least the story I'm getting from this. So he comes and he finds this house. And in the house is this god who retired. Now, unfortunately, I kind of don't know his full title, but his actual title calls himself Susanoo. I found that very funny. I'm noticing in a few shows you got that word popping up. I'm like, are they watching Naruto or something? But anyway, moving on. Don't unsub me for that. Moving on. This guy is basically Ina's guardian, quote-unquote grandfather. And, he's basically talking to Kusanagi, saying, oh, I'm retired. And basically, Kusanagi is able to call forth things that he would not be able to do in his world. In this intermediate plane, it's known as the astral plane. He's able to call forth his weapons. That totally threw me off. I was like, what? I was like stunned. He called forth the golden sword and all this other shit. I'm like, holy crap. It's because he's in the intermediate plane. He's in the astral plane. He can do things he can't do in the real world. And he starts reliving he gets all the information about this god he's talking to, Susanoo, which he would not be able to do otherwise, but he can do it here. And he informs Kusanagi that Ina and Erika are fighting. And then we go into that fight, and they're basically fighting back and forth, and eventually So when she started fighting Erica, the whole premise was, oh, we don't, Kusanagi should have Japanese mistresses. That was the whole point. That was the whole premise of why she was, fighting Erica. And this sword she has, Murakumo, it obviously possessed her. Because at one point, it seems like it doesn't seem like she's getting anywhere with Erica. She's not defeating her anytime. So she decides to go a step further. And she apologized to Erica firsthand to say, I'm going to do this. She allows the sword to possess her. Almost like, I want to say it was similar to Inuyasha. I don't want to bring up Inuyasha in this review, but Inuyasha when he had, oh shit, I forgot the name of the sword. The third sword that possessed him, but basically the same kind of gist. And it took over her body and came full force to attack Erica, and it seemed like she was going to die until, boom, he shows up. Kusanagi calls forth his power, then throws a sword, and he starts talking about Susanoo, using words of power. And he sends the sword and Ina away. And he tries to go after them, and he says, oh, maybe you should be more concerned, Gallslayer, with that girl. And he should, because she's weakened, and it looks like she might be dying, Erica. Now, nothing really else happened in this episode, except for something really intense with Erica and Kusanagi. The only things I have to report is that Athena's with his sister, and she's like, what did my brother do to you? And she's like, oh, going crazy over this fact. Now, that's where we left there. And that's all that really happens there until later on. And we got Liliana and Molly. They're trying to figure out how to get them out of the astral plane place. And they see that guy, I forgot his name unfortunately, who helps Mario all the time, who shows up and is going to tell him how they can get him back. And then we get an interesting scene with Kusanagi trying to get the hell out of the immediate plane. Eventually they get out of it, and it seems like Erica's going to die. It was like, whoa. Like she was saying all this stuff like she was going to die. And he gave her this scene. Oh my God. If you don't like characters making out, you should not have seen this scene. I swear to God. He freaking sucked her face off. Just sucking her face off. It was like, holy shit. And eventually, he gets really pissed off. And says, why is this happening? He gets really pissed off. Kusanagi. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. He confronts the first god he defeated, Murakumo, I think it was called, his name. And saying how, oh, you want to break it, you want to stop these gods, you want to break the whole system. Then you, after all, you are a Campione. And then he gains possession of this other ability, which I believe I think it was called knowledge or divine protection. And he proceeds to put the divine protection into Erica. This was like XXX. Like, they weren't naked, but man, it was pinning her down and like all over her fucking mouth. Just like, and then you have this scene where it's like such sexual innuendos. It's like, oh my God. I was like, holy, I don't really imagine. Because people said this was animated poorly. They didn't follow the light novel very well. But I can only imagine what the light novel is like. It's probably far worse. And then she's like, and then when it's all over, she says, "Oh, you're inside me." I'm like, no way! You gotta be shitting me. She didn't just say that. That's what happens. More or less. And after that, we have a scene with, Murakumo, the sword they were fighting before. He shows up with Ina there. And now that she's gotten this divine protection, Erica, she's like big and bad, and she starts fighting the thing, and she's able to knock it down. Ina's on the top, and she realizes that she's been possessed, and she's like so calm about it. She's like, "Oh, I guess that's the story." And then Kusanagi's trying to tell her, "No, don't say that." And he just gets on the thing and just rips her off the sword. As the sword transforms into this giant, humanoid thing. And they get off the thing and they fall, and she's naked right on top of him. He's like, "I'm sorry!" And then she says, "Thank you for saving me," and she kisses him. And that's the end of that. And then that's when shit hits the fan. Didn't forget to mention this, but Liliana and Malia were interrupted from getting them back by somebody. So they leave that plane because somebody broke the plane itself. And we find out who it is. Athena. Huh? Athena. And she absorbs Murakumo, the sword, and she's standing there. But it's not Athena. There are two Athenas. And then everyone's standing there looking on, and they can't believe what they see. Apparently what happened was Athena was split into two halves. Remember when she was fighting that dark thing? That was herself. So yeah, this should be an interesting final episode next week. I'm going to give this... I'm going to give it a 3.5. I want to go 4. But, we have to wait and see. I have to wait and see. Because a lot of people have been telling me, this show is not as good as the light novel. They butchered the light novel with the way they told the story. Well, that's why I think, in my opinion, Campione should be as long as fucking Sword Art Online. Because as long as Sword Art Online, might have been better. But at least to say, this was a good episode. I liked the whole thing with, oh my god, sexual innuendos. That was intense. I would give this a 4, but final episode, it's got to show me. Got to give me some goodness. Got to give me some goodness. You know what I mean? Goodness. But yeah, I like the fact that now Kusanagi, he got all this power now. Got like a power up. He gave Erica divine protection, so it was a good episode. I thought it was pretty good. Not too bad, not too bad. And Ina is now back to herself. So now he's got Ina, Erica, Liliana, and Malia. That's 4 girls. And Athena. So you might as well call them 5. Like 5 bitches. Ooh, But yeah, this was a good episode. We'll see next week. Final episode. Comments below. What did you guys think of the sexual innuendos? I was like, holy shit. He's like having sex with her. It was intense. Knocking her face off. But that's all I got for you guys. This has been BombCon 922. And I'll catch you guys later.